What's up, y'all? This is Ethan Jett with Jett's Fishing Adventures, and can you believe it's already December? I can. I started out doing these 3 bait videos in February. I've had a blast. I'm not sure what we're going to do next year, but be on the lookout. If you're watching, comment below what you would like to see for the next year's month videos, if that's a 5 bait video or a more specific to each lake video. Just comment below and help me out with what you, the viewer, wants to see. But with anyway, let's jump into this 3 bait for the month of December video. Let's go. One right there. So for the month of December, at least in my region, Tennessee, any of the around here, Tennessee River system, our weather during December, that late November, it's starting to get cold, but middle of the day can be in the 50s and 60s. Now, safety, the water temp is probably anywhere between the low 60s to mid to low or high 50s. You can if you fall in the water, you can get into hypothermia really quickly. So first things first, I want to stress, always wear your life jacket if you're in a kayak. In cold water, the first thing you do when you fall in the water is you, and as soon as you open your mouth, all that water fills in, and that's how people get killed in the winter time. So before I get into my top 1 bait, please always be sure to wear your life jacket when you're out on the water. This time of month, the fish are still on that bait pattern, bait fish pattern. You don't have to have a live scope or depth finder really to find a bait. Look out on the water. You'll see a bunch of birds. The birds are your nature's fish finder. So if you don't have any of the high-tech technology, just look out, look for the birds, and go and fish around where they were at. How I do it, I don't have live scope. I just keep going, look for bait balls. Once I find a bait ball, I'll turn around, I'll mark it on the depth finder, and I'll just sit there and try to fish that bait ball. It's not the most effective way, but I've caught a lot of fish doing that. So this time in December, definitely in the Tennessee region, we are transitioning from fall to winter. And if you're not out there all the time, it can be kind of challenging to locate the fish if you haven't followed them out. So what they're doing, they're going to be starting to go from the shallow back of coves out to the main channel with the channel swings, bluff walls. So I always try to start shallow this time of year and then work my way out until I find them, and then I'll stop and I'll start fishing once I catch a few. But my number 1 bait for December is a shad rab. I love this little bait. You can get, I think it dives about 7 foot. You can get them to dive 12. You can get any of these shad rabs, the DT shad, this is a shad 7, I think. Really good bait this time of year to locate fish. It's almost a searching bait. If you've watched in my previous videos this time of year, I'll set with the motor on like 10%, and I'll just continue going down the banks fishing shallow, and then work my way through the coves until I start catching them, and then I'll slow down with something else. Really good bait, a really fun way to fish, a simple way to fish. How I do it, I get my boat in about 10 foot of water, and I'll cast parallel. If I'm not hitting the bottom with it, then I'll switch to a little bit bigger shad rab, like a number 7 or a number 10. However, as many as I can go up. I got a bunch in the kayak. But this little bait right here is an awesome little bait. Fun way to catch them, easy way, and you can catch some giants on it. My setup is a Omen Black 13 fishing 7'6". It's a medium light. I like this rod because of the length. I can get a super long cast using this 7'6". I have it paired up with 15-pound Seaguar Smackdown braid. And I usually run anywhere between a 10-pound to 12-pound leader, depending on the water clarity and how deep I want it to dive. I usually use Invisex with that, Seaguar. I actually have it on a 13 fishing Kalon reel, really good reel. I have a couple of these reels, and they are great for the price. This rod is really good for the price as well. So if you're wanting to get a kind of a budget friendly, if you're wanting to buy one for your fishermen in the family, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, this is an awesome setup and combo right here. So my number 2 bait for December, it's a little bit slower reaction style bait, at least how I fish it. I like to do a couple of yo-yos and let it sink. I like fishing on bluff walls, let it sink all the way down the bluff wall. I actually have a tournament coming up on Dale Hollow, and if you know that place, it's a very popular, almost was invented in East Tennessee, and it's a blade bait. Um, I know if you're familiar with any deep water fishing, clear water lakes, you've heard of the Silver Buddy. So this is kind of an updated version of the Silver Buddy. This is actually an um, Bass Pro XPS brand. I like it because it has a more bait fish look to it. We're going to Dale Holler here soon, and it's clear water, so I wanted more of a bait presentation. And this little blade bait, I think this is a 3/8 ounce. It'll sink very fast, very quickly. So how I like to fish is around bluff walls, deep points. I'll throw it out, and then I'll let it hit the bottom, and I'll bring it up, and just let it hit the bottom. I actually use a little bit different rod setup and really line setup than a lot of people. I have it on my Cashin 7'3" Elite. If you know me, this is my all-time favorite rod. Very versatile, and I actually have it paired with 30-pound Seaguar Smackdown braid with probably about a 4-foot leader of Invisex 10 to 12 pounds as well. Reason why I like the braid, this technique is all about sensitivity. This rod's really sensitive, and the braid just makes it 10 times more sensitive than straight fluorocarbon. I can feel as soon as it hits, I can pop it up, and as soon as when it's dropping, as soon as that fish comes up and hit it, I'll feel it right then, and I can set the hook, or I can ease into it. You don't really want to set a hook with treble baits, but this is an awesome rod and reel combo for this. I can launch it a mile with this 3/8. I can launch it a mile with the 7'3" rod, and it's just a fun way to catch them. Now this way, it's a little bit harder to catch fish than just throwing out and reeling it in. You can do that with a blade bait. I just like yo-yoing it more. I do find them on the graph, and then I start fishing a blade bait through that bait ball, and that's how I do it. If I find any birds, that's when I go and look, and I throw it around the birds eating those bait fish. So that's my number 2. So my number 3 bait for the month of December. December can be a tough time, and when it gets tough, you kind of want to slow down. So there's not really any better way to slow down and give a smaller presentation than the old Ned rig. This is actually a Torrent Tungsten Wide Gap, if I can get it around. Torrent Tungsten Wide Gap Ned rig head. Awesome. Ned rig right here, super sharp. And then I got it paired up with a Striker 6.0 that I actually cut down. I love this color. It's the watermelon red flake. This color right here is just a killer color, but I got it cut down to fit a more finesse technique, a little finesse profile. Super finessey. It sets down on the bottom like that, and that tail floats and just sits there and flops. Another option, if they're not hitting that I love, and particularly smallmouth really loving, is a Helgamite. This is actually a kind of a newer, it's an XPS, the Bass Pro Shop brand. They just came out with their own Helgamite. It's a really good profile, a little bit bigger profile from here, but smallmouth in particular, love a Helgamite, definitely on rivers. I got it paired up with one of my favorite rods, the LX Wizard. It's got paired up with a 13 fishing K-line reel as well. I have it paired with 15-pound Seaguar Smackdown, and anywhere between 8 to 10-pound Seaguar Invisex, depending on water clarity and depth that I'm fishing, or if I'm around bigger fish, I'll jump it up a little bit to that 10-pound line range. Awesome setup, great way to catch a lot of fish. You might not catch a lot of big fish, but it'll catch numbers. So in a tournament, when you're not catching anything, tie you on a Ned rig and you'll start catching them. Alright, so if you've watched all my other 3 bait videos, you know I always do that fun and kind of bigger bait at the end. Well, this month is no different, and I've already talked about this in previous months, but it's a really good searching bait. Definitely if you have live scope, or it's just a great big bass bait all year round, and that's a big glide bait. I love throwing a big glide bait a lot around. If I know there's big fish in the lake, I throw it a lot. If I get my limit in a tournament, I usually pick up a big glide bait just to see if I can get a big kicker fish. Problem with a glide bait, or any big bait for that matter, you got to keep it in your hands. You'll catch small fish on it as well, but the percentage of a bigger fish is very high. The only problem is you won't catch a ton. And how I fish a glide bait this time of year, this is a mean mouth, the deep diving one. So what I'll do is I'll throw it around laydowns, docks, big points, and I'll let it sink down, and then I just work it real slow. So the water temp will dictate how fast you really want to fish a bait. So when the water's colder, the fish are real lethargic. You want to fish it real slow. So this little mean that I like about this bait is it's got a real wide glide when you're not trying to chop it, so you can kind of work it real slow. And if you have live scope and you look over brush and you watch it come up, it's a real good way to pre-fish, because you see a bunch of fish come up and look at it and not eat it, so you know there's a lot of fish there. But get into my setup here. It's a 7'6" heavy Dugout Silverado rod. It's not the most expensive rod or the nicest, but it's great for heavy baits. It's rated up to like 2 ounces. It's real sensitive for the price. I got it paired up with the SLX. It's a 6-to-3 gear ratio. You don't really want a fast gear ratio for a glide. You want to be able to just do that real nice glide action. This bait can also chop. You can do it if the fish are a little bit more active. It has a real nice chop to it as well. It's kind of based off the Shad, but the great thing about this bait, it's $25 instead of about $60. So they custom paint them. You can call them up and have them paint them any way you want. And definitely look them out or check them out. I've caught plenty of fish on the other glide bait I have, which is the shallow diving, and it's just a fun way to fish, and it's some aggressive way to fish. All right, so I can't believe that it's already December, and that was the last 3 bait video for the year. A huge thank you for everybody that's watched and subscribed from all my videos. It really means the world to me. I'm going to be getting better at uploading every week. I've kind of struggled this year for getting content. I've had some videos get deleted by accident through the GoPro for some reason, but next year we're going to be doing a lot better. Now, I have dropped the ball on the giveaway. I planned on doing a giveaway when I hit 600, but we've just hit 800 subscribers last week, and we are going to do the giveaway. Be on the lookout at the end of this week into next week on how to enter. I know I'm going to try to get all my sponsors. I've been getting some stuff from my sponsors, so we're going to do a giveaway, and we'll probably do like a Christmas giveaway. But thank you for subscribing, for watching, and comment what you want to see next year with the 3 bait videos, or if you have any kind of video recommendation, comment below. I like to see, I want to do what my viewers want me to do. Just a big heartfelt thank you, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you're not having in a food coma from all the turkey and ham you ate. We'll see y'all next week.